Okay, it's recording.
Mm.
Okay, so Satomi, do you have any questions about the work you've done so far? Or do you want me to do the same as last week?
Yeah, it's okay.
You're okay?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's have a look at what we were up to last week. I think I sent you. Did you receive the? Did you receive what maybe Daiji sent you?
Yes.
Which was what we did together.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Maybe Leika received that as well.
Mhm.
I see. Okay. So I'm just going to bring it up again. So we did percentage increase and decrease. Maybe I'll share my screen.
Okay.
Okay, let's have a look. Share screen. Okay, so can you see that?
Yes.
Is that you're familiar with that? That's what we did last time? Oops, this is different. So that's our one from last time. Percentage increase and decrease. Okay, so next that we were learning about was, I'm just going to go pull up Education Perfect and have a look at this. Percentage change, finding the original. Okay, percentage. So we've done percentage change. Now let's look at finding the original amount. So on finding the original amount, I'll preview the lesson. So you can see what I'm looking at here. It says in this lesson we're going to learn how to work backwards to find the original amount after a percentage change. Let's say that we have an amount and increase it by 20% to get the result of 90. So we know we've increased it by 20%. We know that the new amount is 90. Do you know how to find the original amount? What it used to be? Have you done any of this yet, Satomi? Or is this new?
No, this is new.
This is new. Okay, good. So this is a good place for us to start. So I'll just read through this and then we can do some questions on the Word document. So it says to find the original amount, first we need to find the multiplier that was used to increase the number by 20%. We can do this by adding 100% to the percentage increase. So the original amount is 100%. Do you agree? You understand that? So the original amount is 100%. You've increased by 20%. So your new amount, which is 90, is 120% of the original amount. So in other words, so we convert it to a decimal as 1.2. So we can use this to write an equation that describes how the original amount was increased. So 1.2 times the original amount equals 90. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, good. So that was like what we did last week. We said, okay, if you wanted to increase 70 by 20%, you would times 70 by 1.2. Yep, that's good. Okay, so next page. We can rearrange the equation so that the original amount is by itself by dividing both sides by 1.2. Okay, this is a little bit of maths. Algebra here. There's an unknown. Okay, the unknown is the original amount. We have an equation. We want to solve this equation to find out what the original amount is. So the way we do it is we want to get the original amount by itself. Right now we've got 1.2 times it. So to get rid of that 1.2 times the original amount, we divide by 1.2. And if we divide this side by 1.2, we have to do the same to the other side because that will keep them equal. Do you know that kind of algebra?
Hmm?
Do you know like algebra? Like if I get, say, an algebra question, like let me just, let's have a quick algebra lesson before we go back to this.
Okay.
Okay, all right, some background algebra. Can you see what I'm writing? You can see that?
Yes.
Oh, good. Okay, so the question 2 plus a equals 5.
Yeah.
So, of course, we know that the answer is a equals 3. We don't have to do anything. We just know that. We know that 2 plus 3 equals 5. But let's work through this a little bit more carefully. Right now we've got 2 plus a equals 5. What we want to do is we want to get a by itself on one side, and we want to get all the other numbers on the other side of the equal sign. So in order to get a by itself, we need to minus 2, sorry, off this side. So, and whatever we do to this side, we have to also do to this side. Otherwise, it's no longer equal. So if I write this out, 2 plus a, and then in red I'll say minus 2 equals 5, and then also have to put minus 2. Okay, and then that leaves us with a equals 3. Because these a's cancel each other, so I'll put a strike through them so you can see that. That's cancelled, and that's cancelled. Because if you've got plus 2 minus 2, that undoes it. It's back to 0. Okay, so another simple thing. What about if we have 1.2 times a equals 90. I'll make this black. The way what would we do to both sides in order to get a by itself, Satomi?
First night.
We want a just to be by itself
Yeah.
on one side of the equation. So how do we get rid of that 1.2? What do we do to solve this?
I want to divide that 1.2
Good.
each other.
Divide both sides by 1.2. So the way I'd do that is I'd put this into brackets. 1.2 times a, and then I'll say divided by 1.2 equals 90 divided by 1.2. So let me just make those in red to show you what I'm doing. So we're dividing both sides by 1.2, and the result is that we can cancel the 1.2s off this side. So I'm going to put a strike through that, and a strike through that. And what answer would that give us? A
equals 75.
78?
75.
78.5?
Yeah.
Okay. And that should be the answer to our question we were doing before. So if I go back to education perfect.
Yeah. 75.
Oh, 75, sorry. Did you say 75?
But
Pull my calculator up and have a look at this.
75.
Yeah, 75. Sorry. Yeah. Did you get that?
Yes.
Good. So A equals 75. And that's exactly what they've done in this question here. So they're dividing by 1.2 to give the answer of 75. So the original amount was 75. So in the same way, we can use the same process to find the original amount after a percentage decrease. We'll just end up with a decimal number smaller than 1 to divide our decreased number by. So for example, let's say we have an amount and we decrease it by 25% to get the result of 120. So the original amount's 100%, we take 25% off that, which gives us 75%, which is 0.75. Okay, and then we've got our equation. 0.75 times the original amount equals 120. And so in the same way, we would say original amount equals 120 divided by 0.75. That's using algebra to get our answer of 160. So the original amount was 160, and we decreased it by 25%. Okay, do you think you can do some of these examples? Okay, I'll pull this up on our hang on. Okay, so this is our question.
Mhm.
Let me know when you've, if you get stuck or if you've got the answer.
合ってんのかな? I don't know. I'm not sure like the answer.
You're not sure?
Yeah.
Okay, do you remember what we would do first?
The first, the 42.7%, plus 10%.
10%?
100%.
Okay, so this is a, right, so we're adding it to 100. So 100 plus 42.5, and that equals?
142.5%.
Good. So 57 is 142.5% of the original. So what's our next step?
The 1 point,
Yep.
okay, 1.425%. Okay, multiply A equal 15.7.
Good. Yep. 1.425 times A, we can just call it A, equals 57. A being the original amount. Okay, and then what's our next step to find out A?
That the 1.425 divide.
So
Plus,
divide by 1.425.
And divide.
Right? We're dividing both sides by 1.425.
57 divide 1.425.
Okay. Now what does that give us?
50. 40.
40. Good. Okay. A equals 40. All right. Okay, let me give you another question. Actually, I'll just get it off Education Perfect. So they've got that answer, A equals 40. They've got all the working here, by the way, so their one would be better than mine. Okay, we've got a decrease here. So I'm going to paste this onto the document. Oops, wrong one. How about that? Do you want to just talk me through it immediately, because I think you know.
Okay.
How do I start? We're decreasing it this time.
First, 100 minus 60.
Good. 100
equal.
minus. Yep.
And then equal 40.
Yep. 40%. Which equals what as a decimal?
0.4%.
Good. Okay, so that's 0.4. Okay, and then what do we do?
And 0.4 multiply A equal 88.
Good. And what's the next step?
And 0.4 multiply A divide 0.4 equal 88 divide 0.5, 0.4.
Okay, good.
Like, how do you say in English like this?
Bracket.
Okay, I
bracket.
have to say in Japanese. I have to say
Yes.
this one. Yes.
Yes, you would need to say it. So you could either say bracket 0.4 times A bracket divided by 0.4, or you could
bracket.
say, sorry, bracket.
Bracket.
Let me write the word. They're called brackets.
Thank you.
Yep. Um, okay, I just want to put a little note in here. As above, let A be the original amount, just so we know why we're using letter A. So A is the original amount, and that's what we want to find. Okay, what's the answer? A equals or original amount? I'll say original amount equals what?
And 220.
Good. Okay, that's good.
Yes.
We can move on. Let's see what they've got next. Okay, I think you're fine with these. I can leave these to you. I think we might move on to GST. Yeah, all of this should be easy stuff. Applied, let's see. Yeah, no, this should all be easy. It's all the same thing. What I'm flicking through right now, it's all the same thing. So it's just practice. It's good to have practice though. You need it. Keeps it in your mind. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the next, which is goods and service taxes. Have you ever heard of goods and service tax? Goods and services tax, or GST?
GST?
Yeah. Do you know what this is?
No.
Okay. GST. This is really the same thing as we've just been learning, but it's applying it to a real life situation that's often used. Maybe in Japan they use GST. I'm gonna quickly do a Google search here
Okay.
to see if they have it in Japan. Um,
Maybe like custom.
yeah.
Yeah.
So whenever you pay for anything, do you also have to pay a tax on top?
Okay.
Like if you
Like,
go and buy a drink from the shop, you're paying a certain amount of tax each time as well.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. This is what we call in New Zealand GST, which stands
GST.
for goods and services tax. Let's go back
What's
to
the figure in New Zealand?
what's
What
the figure?
percent? Yeah, like
In New Zealand, it's 15%.
15.
15. Yeah, it's quite high in New Zealand, I think.
Yeah, in Japan it's 10%.
Oh, it's 10%. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we go by 15%. Okay. So by the end of this lesson, you'll be able to calculate the GST value, so how much GST you've paid every time you buy something, determine the total amount when GST is added, and solve problems that involve GST. All right. So it says when we purchase a good or service, we often have to pay a goods and services tax, known as GST. GST is included in the final price we pay to a provider when we buy a product or service and is added as a percentage increase. The providers pass this revenue to the government and it is used for infrastructure, health services, education, and other essential services. So do you know when you're in an international airport, there's a duty-free section?
Duty-free.
Duty-free. So sometimes you're in an international airport, they don't, the things you're buying don't have tax on them.
Mm-hmm.
So people like to buy things from there because they don't
Yeah,
have to pay tax. Yeah.
yeah.
And this gives you a few different countries. Australia's 10%, Canada 5%, Liberia 7%, New Zealand 15%, Pakistan 13 to 17%, and Singapore 7%. So you're saying Japan is 10%.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's the same as increasing by a percentage.
Mm-hmm.
We start with a GST exclusive price. So that's like what you can buy at the airport, GST exclusive. That has no GST. Then we increase the price by the GST amount to make it the GST inclusive price. So you understand this equation?
Yeah.
GST exclusive price plus GST
Yes.
equals GST inclusive.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So exclusive means without, inclusive means including, with. Okay. Okay. Since we've already talked about, I think you should know how to do this. Let's just go straight to the questions. Okay, what about this question here? The socks cost $20 before GST is added. In the country Toby lives, the GST rate is 15%. Calculate the amount Toby will have to pay for the socks when GST has been added. Okay, I'm going to write that question out on our Word document so we can do it there. Okay, so using GST. Let's just make this black again. Okay, so up here. Okay, how about this question?
Okay. We have the
And we'll say GST
in
equals 15%.
this is increase the direct. It's not divide.
Yep, so what do we do?
Yeah. First, the 15% was 100%.
Good. Yep.
115% multiply A equal あれ
Hang on, so what's 115% as a decimal?
1.15.
Okay, good. Now, what do we do now?
The 1.15% multiply.
Not percent. It's 115% as a decimal, so 1.15. Yep. Times.
Times 20
Good.
equal 23. 23.
Okay, so the GST inclusive price for the socks is $23. Oops. We'll just put a dash there. There we go. Okay, I'm going to give you another question. What happens? Let's see. Okay, the GST inclusive price for a jacket is $75. Find the price. I'll find the GST exclusive price. Okay, what do you do there?
The first 100 minus 15. Like 85% and equal 0.85.
Okay, good. Okay, now what?
0.85 time A equal 75.
Okay, this is the tricky bit, Satomi.
What?
Wait, keep going, keep going. Okay, I don't want to stop you yet, but anyway, keep going. What are we going to do then?
The bracket 0.85 times A this divide
Yep.
0.85 equal 75 divide 0.85.
Equals 70. Okay. All right, what's the answer?
Like the answer is increase the 75. いいのこれ。The 88 88.24.
Good. Okay, do you think that's the right answer?
Yeah, that's weird because the exclude side always the less in a few
Yes.
than.
Yes, so how did you get an answer bigger?
I'm not sure.
Okay, let me try to explain this.
Okay.
I'm just going to add something in here. There we go. Hang on. Shape fill. How do we make this? There we go. And outline can be read. That means that's wrong. Okay.
No, that's wrong.
I want it to stay there though. I'm not going to delete it because I think it's a common thing that people will will make, a common mistake people will make. So why is this wrong? Okay, let's think about this. So it says the GST inclusive price for a jacket is 75%. Find the GST exclusive price. So let me see. Do you understand this? Sorry, $75 is what percentage of the original price?
The original price is
We don't know the original price, but what is 75 as a percentage of the original price?
A A A A.
So we know that 75 is
Mhm.
the GST inclusive price. GST has been added already, and the new price, the price which includes GST, is $75. So what is $75 as a percentage of the original price?
Like 1.15
Good. Give it as a percentage.
percentage.
What's the percentage?
115.
Very good. Okay. So $75 equals 115% of the original price. Okay. So A times 1.15 equals 75. Do you agree? You see that?
Yeah.
And that makes sense to you?
Yes.
So this is the good starting place. If A times 1.1715 equals 75, how do we find A?
Well, bracket A times 1.15 divide 1.15 equals 75 times 1 divide
Good.
1.15.
Okay, now what's the answer?
65.22.
Give me two decimal places.
えっと、two more, like two,
65.2.
217.
Okay, if I just have two decimal places, what will the two be?
Okay. On two, the one 65.22.
Okay, good. So the GST exclusive price is $65.22. Okay, do you see what we did differently? We divided by 1.15 instead of dividing by 0.85. And the key there is, Satomi, the reason that we made the mistake the first time is that you didn't realize that $75 is actually 115%.
Yes.
It's not the 100%. It's not 15% less. So the starting place is to realize that 75 has already got GST added, so it's 115% already. The original price is the 100%. Okay, good. I'm going to give you two more questions.
Okay.
Actually, okay. Can you tell me a shortcut? Let's see if you can figure this out. So I'm going to write another little section. So shortcut to including and excluding GST. Okay. And I'll just give you 2 quick questions, and then we'll show you the shortcuts if you can't figure them out.
Okay.
Take GST off. No, add GST. I'll start with adding. Add GST to $44, and then take GST off $68. How do you do it? There's a real shortcut way. It's a 1-step process. What would we do for the first one? How do you add GSTs to something?
Time 1.15.
Very good. Very good. So I'll do this in red. 44 times 1.15. And what does that equal?
50.6.
Okay, if we're working with money, we always need to have 2 decimal places. So what would the other decimal place be?
Huh?
50.6, you need another decimal place.
Decimal place?
No, so okay. So there needs to be 6 and then another number.
No, that's it.
Okay, but you still need to give me another number. If we're working with dollars, we don't ever just put one number after the decimal point. We have to have 2 numbers. So what would the other number be? It's a bit of a trick question.
9? わからない。なんだろう。
Okay, how would you say 50.6? If you were saying the price of something is $50.6, how would you say it normally?
Normally?
Yeah, if you're saying this is the price of something, how would you explain, how would you tell me? If you were the shopkeeper and I said, how much is that jacket? And you told me the price, what would you say to me?
$50.
Yeah.
6.
$50 and
6?
6?
Only? じゃないの? I'm not sure.
You're not sure? Okay, fine.
Yeah.
So what I'm trying to get at is you would say $50.60, right?
Cent.
So 60.
60.
60. So what would the other decimal place be? What would the other number be?
0.
Very good, yeah. So every time we're talking with dollars, with money, you always have 2 decimal places. So if it's 50.6, you would write 50.60 because that's how we would represent a price of something. On a price label, on a price tag, you would say $50.60. Yeah.
Okay.
Because that's the cents. Okay, good. Okay, that was just a side point, not really what we're learning at the moment. But what if we take GST off $68? What do you get? How do you do that?
68 divide 1.15.
Good, you got it, Satomi.
Yeah.
So it's really simple, right?
Yes.
There's the simple process. It's either times by 1.15 if we're adding it to it, or divide by 1.15 if we're taking it. So what's the answer going to be to that?
59 point dollars.
Yep.
13.
13, good. There we go. Okay, so GST is pretty simple now. Okay, we can move on from that. Let's see what our time is. Oh, we've run out of time. Have you got something else you need to be at now?
Yes.
Sorry, we've gone over time.
Yeah, it's okay, but
Okay, it's a good place to finish anyway.
Mhm.
Okay, well, have a good week, Satomi. I hope you can catch up with your maths, but don't put too much stress on yourself. If you've got a lot of schoolwork, we can just keep on working at your pace. But
Okay.
do what you can, though. Do what you can. Okay, let's stop sharing this screen and I'll turn this off. Okay, see you later.
See you.
Bye-bye.